Mr. Fox. Yes, you're early for a change. I am really seriously thinking of pushing back my Sunday night live because 7:30 usually my eldest would start going to bed, like it was 7:38, and my little one was 6:30, and it was working pretty well for the time of when they were in school. But now that they're not in school, their schedule is like an hour later. So they are just starting to go to bed like around 8:30. So I think I'm going to do Sunday at least 8:30. So whoever's watching this now or on replay, if Sunday night 8:30, 8:45 is better for you, for like multiple reasons, like it's summer, and all of that. But there is also the fact that people go back to work the next day. Okay. But if I need to water the garden, usually my time to water the garden is Sunday night, 8 to 10. So maybe those Sundays I won't be able to do the live, but we'll see. We'll see. So how is everybody? I'm going to wait maybe like a minute or so because I decided last minute to change the hour of the live so that people that have notification can come hop on. It is very warm today. And as you can tell, I have like this raccoon tan going on, very intense. I started going on the water with my paddleboard, and it's totally different than being in the garden. So I got myself good sunscreen for when I go during the day, and for the face, the lips, and I'm going to go get for the arms and the legs because I don't want to burn. I know you're down south, so we don't have the same definition of warm, but I don't have air conditioning on my main floor. I only have air conditioning in each of the windows of the bedrooms. But right now it is 25 with humidex 32. So that would be in Fahrenheit. 77 feels like 90. And here it's 8:50 p.m. So just as the sun is setting. So it's sticky. And today was like, I think we were close to 100 today. So I know it's not the same thing as you, but it's definitely warm. I don't like that warm. I don't like in the 30s. So it's too warm to work outside. So my husband did a lot of clearing. Like every year we do like big cleanups. Usually we do this in the spring or in the fall, but we've been delaying for so many reasons. Like procrastinating being one of them. And he was stopping every like 20 minutes. He was like sweating. And he burnt on his shoulders. Yeah. We had 100 today. So yeah, it was full sun today, no clouds, same thing. It was like burning heat on our face. So I started harvesting. Today I harvested maybe like a half an hour. So I harvested berries. So I have currants. Hi, John. I have currants that I'm harvesting, black raspberries, regular raspberries, yellow raspberries, and I also have alpine berries, the yellow ones. I started harvesting that, and I harvested 3 broccoli, a serving of green beans for my family, a couple of peas, Did I forget anything? I don't think I forgot anything. I took a picture of it. Oh yeah, and zucchinis. So I harvested one patty pan, one zucchini, and one cucumber. So I'm thinking of posting it. Wait, this is what I harvested today. Let's try to wait. I don't know if the camera can pick it up now. You can't see. But I was like super happy. So tonight I grilled the patty pan and the zucchini on the grill. The broccoli, I boiled it and put some butter, mixed it, and then put some cheese. Put that in the oven, like just for it to melt slightly. And we had leftover pizza that we had on Friday, some sloppy Joe mix. It was really fun. So tonight, the sloppy Joe is stuff that I canned last year. And instead of doing, we're out of hamburger meat. I have to find a local beef place or pork place because we no longer have access to pork. So I no longer have hamburger meat. So I used cube pork in my sloppy Joe mix, and we're like towards the end of our beef of last year and our pork. So it is fun when you sit down and we were enjoying the meal. The broccoli comes from the garden. I only have 12 heads of broccoli this year. I've already eaten 4. And then like the zucchini also came from the garden. So it was like really fun to see that more than 3/4 of what we were eating was either stuff that I've purchased and canned or stuff that I harvested from the garden. I really, really enjoy like sitting down and noticing that. What shaking? Quick hello. Got a few things. No worries. Nice. I sadly lost all of my blueberry plants. I only have one massive that's like 10 feet tall. It flowers and it doesn't produce anything because it needs a pollinator, or it is the pollinator because I lost the tag on the tree. So Remy gave me wild blueberry plants. I should have 2-3 plants in those 2 pots, and I'm hoping by planting it next to it, maybe it could cross-pollinate next year. Hascap was established this year. I still have to plant 4 of my hascaps. I'm doing that in the fall once I clear up where my garlic is. I'm relocating some of my berry bushes, and one of the beds that I had garlic in it will be either hascaps or strawberries. I am so exhausted to weed the garden beds of my strawberries and my blueberries. It's ridiculous. Like I just finished, I think a week ago, and it came back with a vengeance. It's like I have to start again. So I might invest either in like deep mulch in those beds or some sort of ground cover, because it is ridiculous. Like I lose some of my berry plants in like weeds. Yeah. So it's either the pollinator survived, and I had a popcorn variety, which is fun. It was like pink hue blueberry, but it died. I don't know what happened to it. So I'm hoping that the climate of Remy is in New Brunswick, so it is colder than ours. So I'm hoping that he told me he got them from the wild. So technically it is wild blueberries, so it should resist more. I think I'm going to go that route I found a couple of places that do sell wild blueberry plants. I think it would be easier for me, but I would have to have like a very deep mulch going on as soon as I transplant them, and every year just add more mulch or have like a plastic ground cover because it is ridiculous the amount of weeds that I have. Um, and no one around me grows blueberries, so until I can transplant those, like I need to the bed where my blueberries and strawberries are. It's a 4 feet by 16 feet or 20 feet long. The boards were upcycled and they're rotten, so I don't think they'll survive the winter. As soon as they thaw in the spring, it's probably like it's probably not going to survive. So my choices are that in the spring I transplant whatever's there into pots and then like create a three instead of 4 feet, do a 3 feet and put my strawberries somewhere else and just like allocate blueberries. I think I'll have 4 blueberries now, and the rest like put hascap. And if it's 3 feet, I can put the under the blueberries, strawberries. My pine berries could go there. But definitely like heavy, heavy, heavy mulch. I have to find mulch. It is so hard to find mulch here. Some places like it's so easy, you just make a phone call and they'll come drop it off and it's free. I've asked for a 7 yard truck being delivered here. And the price he gave me, I was like, you're nuts. You're completely nuts. And this was before all of this chaos going on. Everything like being triple, quadruple the price. So unless I find another solution, I might just do like ground cover. Or I found hemp bedding. That's a new thing. It is longer to decompose. I would just have to do like very, very thick layer of it and just add it every year. But definitely my fruit. So my asparagus patch, I lost it because it was overgrown by weeds and the asparagus didn't know what to do. So I think I have like all of my crowns that died, or I didn't put enough soil and they died. So next spring, I have to allocate a new bed of asparagus. I really, really enjoy having asparagus. It's so fun. We have an asparagus farm nearby, and I think it's like 20 minutes away from our house, and it's super fun. Like fresh asparagus. When I harvest mine, it tastes the not that the one in the store doesn't taste good. It's just there's like it tastes more. So the broccoli that we've eaten today, the taste was enhanced. When we buy broccoli from the store, because it's like processed, shipped, handled, and then put into a store and we go buy it, it's different. So I'm definitely realizing that this year with asparagus at least. So who's still here? I'm seeing one person. Is it you, Mr. Fox, that's still here? Who's here? Am I talking alone? Is there anyone here? Oh, two. I'm wondering where everyone's at myself. It's not. I'm. You mean on YouTube? Well, I did change last minute, so it might take a couple of weeks for people to adjust. I did message we have a group of friends that Canadian homesteaders. I messaged them, told them I was going to go live later. But some of them are on vacation, so they might enjoy their time off. It's okay. It doesn't matter if tonight's going to be a short live. Hello! John I don't know if John's still here. I harvested my 2 first tomatoes. Harvest them too early though. So I have to wait maybe like mid of the week this week. This is my first tomato. So I harvested a cucumber, 2 tomatoes, cucumbers, tomatoes, beans. They're pole beans. It's very weird that this year I harvest pole beans earlier than bush beans, but I did sow them before my frost date, and I transplanted my pole beans earlier than usual. So it kind of feels weird that I'm harvesting pole beans first, because those are at least normally 60 to 75 days of maturity. And the bush beans are 45 to 55 days. Woohoo! I started having peppers, but I kind of made a boo-boo. I've planted a row of pole beans in the middle of my plants. So I have 25 or 30 gallon bags. So I've put 4 to 6 pepper plants, and in the middle, I planted 3 pole beans. So on one side, the peppers are like full exposure to the sun, and then on the other side, the side that is shaded by the green bean foliage is like a little bit behind. It's not as exposed to the sun, but it is protected, so at least the peppers will not be burnt. Ew. I think I'm giving up on winter squash. It takes way too much space, and this year I planted winter squash in my raised beds, thinking it was a great idea. But they attach themselves to every single thing they could find, so I cannot canopy them. And the vine borers were 2 weeks earlier than usual. And the cucumber beetles were almost 3 weeks earlier than usual. So I don't think I'll be doing, as if I do pumpkins, I might do like 1 or 2 plants so that the kids can have pumpkins for Halloween. And unless I build like a temporary shelter, frame for those so that I can manually pollinate them. I don't know. I think I'm going to give up on winter squash, or I'm going to plant them at there is like one raised bed that I want to create at the back of my property, which will be probably raspberries, to create an intimacy fence for my back neighbors. And I might just put the squash there and find bush varieties. So I did find a couple of bush varieties of winter squash, but I want them to be Maxima or butternut. Butternut is... So zucchini is Beppo. Some of the pumpkins are Maxima. And what's the one that's like... butternut is it's a more resistant variety. So maybe I'm just going to sow like butternut in the food forest, hoping my husband won't mow over it, unless I can find like a more bush variety that does not like vine out. I have read somewhere that planting beans together are bad things. Something about spotted leaves and stunt growth. I always plant beans next to my tomatoes, but those are bush beans. I've always planted bush beans next to my peppers. I'm intrigued. In my companion planting um, chart that I have, it says that I can plant. I hope not, because I planted my whole sweet peppers with my bush beans. I mean, my pole beans. Ah, you're right. I think you're right. It's funny. So I found a contradiction. So if I plant them as I searched peppers, experts disagree on whether peppers and beets can coexist. They both can benefit the soil. However, sometimes pole beans vine can spread too aggressive among the pepper plants and choke them. Okay. I guess it's not going to be my best pepper year. Right. My Hickory Croft Farm squash has six pale. Ooh, nice. Well, you see, this is what I don't like about Mr. Google. Mr. Google on one site will say one thing, and then on the other, it will say something else. So when there's things I remember, like basil goes with tomatoes, sage goes with tomatoes. Bush bean, I plant bush bean always. So I have one row of tomato in my raised beds, and then 24 inches further, I have bush beans, one row of bush beans. I know that I can plant marigold. So those are the things that I know by heart. But when I have to play Tetris, homesteader style, I go on Google and I go, what can I plant with XYZ? And then I have stuff coming up. So either I couldn't read and I was in a rush that day. Um, well, anyways, it's planted. There's nothing I can do. I guess I'm gonna find out the hard way. Yeah, until you try. You're absolutely right. So I guess I'm gonna put more fertilizer in those because I did use bunny fertilizer for my grow bags. Beans are the best companion plant for anything that takes out nutrition. I'm still working out planting beans with sunflowers. Okay, there's another thing. So I plant sunflowers everywhere. I use them as trellises, and then I read somewhere that it pulls out a lot of the nutrients, especially in the onion family. So I was like, what? I love sunflowers and I plant them everywhere. So unless you try it, I guess you won't know. It's like I have peas. There's something I did. I felt like super like genius. I planted a row of corn, and instead of planting pole beans with my corn, I planted peas. But the pumpkins I sowed next row to it is already invading where my corn is. So I don't have access to those peas. So instead of having three rows of peas like I planned, I now have two, and I can't have access to a third. I've never tried, but I think it's an excellent idea. Like organza bags? I think I would wait that the flowers, like I'm going with logic. So a tomato, when it's hand pollinated and you want to keep the seeds and you put an organza bag over the fruit. I think it would make sense. Definitely. The heat is a challenge. So I had this conversation with someone. She's saying, my pepper plants look stunned and I don't understand. So I'm like, think of it. We had very, very high temperatures and then we dipped super, super low. And then we had very, very high temperatures and then we dipped super, super low. So that, like, our seedlings are not acclimated completely when they are very young. So I lost so many tomato plants because of that. Because the dipping temperatures, and even though I watered deeply, and they didn't like that, and I lost like at least like 20 plants. Usually I would only lose a couple, but I did lose a lot this year. Heat cold does not help. Yeah, I get those either on Amazon or I think Dollarama probably has some of those. Probably. Bigger quantities, I think you would be better looking online. But our Dollaramas doesn't carry that much. But it's definitely like a learning experience. It's like science. We're like in school and we're watching what our garden does. So I have a lot of weeds also. I've been trying. I tried. I made myself a promise that every time I go outside in the garden, unless I didn't do it today because it's like way too warm. I After I harvested everything, I was burnt. I was like drenched, so I decided to go inside and work inside. But every time I go outside, I try to at least invest 20 minutes of weeding. And this year we have a tool that's like really, really helpful. It's like a torch. It burns the weed. So I use the weed eater and like I put it short down the ground, and then Fred passes like, we have to be careful because we didn't burn some of my broccoli plants, but there's no more weeds. So I think that I'm gonna try to find like something to protect each side of my rows and like just burn the weeds, because I have to not only weed the rows, I have to weed the pathways, which is ridiculous. Pepper plants shouldn't have too much of an issue with fluctuation. No, when they're young, yes. When they're very established, I think that is accurate. So here, peppers, if it dips under 10 degrees Celsius, so I think 10 degrees should probably be like around 50. No, wait. So 23 is 70. So half of that. 35? Is 35 like above freezing for you guys? Okay. So I know that if I dip under 15 for my peppers, they're stunned. If I dip under 10, my tomatoes are stunned during the night. And my tomatoes were stunned this year, real bad. Because we actually had late June, an evening of 9. But we did have a storm come by, so it was kind of normal. But 9 in June was like, whoo, that's cold. Thinking of that, I'm going to look at the week up ahead. Ooh la 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 la. So this week is 29, 28, 26, 25, 25, and a lot of rain. That's not good. I don't have a car. No. For those who didn't watch Tuesday's live, I had like a very sad moment happen to us not this Saturday, the Saturday before. My motor of my car decided to do some weird noises, and we had to bring it to the garage. And I'm out of a car for a little while. Um, Someone we know is a mechanic and took in the car, but told us that they can't take care of the car within the next 3 weeks. So it's already been a week because he was like dealing with a lot of the stuff. He was going on vacation for 2 weeks. So I'm at least out of a car for at least another 3 weeks, which sucks. He lent us a car, but I can't drive it. I used to drive manual, but the car he lent us is a very old car, and it's the old clutch. There's no power steering, and there's only 4 seat belts. So we can't use it for the family. We're only using it for like if we need to go to the store or like a quick thing. If one of my kids are at their friends, we can do something. So it's definitely going to be a challenge for the next 3 weeks. If it rains, I drop off the kids either by walk or by bike. And this week it says for 3 days out of 5 it's going to rain. So let's hope that in the morning from 9 to 10 doesn't rain, because I have to either walk or bike. The flip side positive of that is now we fixed my bike and I get to do exercise in the morning. And I think it's like 10 minutes to go, 10 minutes to come back. And there's morning, like I go around when it's not too warm. I bike around the city and I get like another 20 minutes in and kind of do a training out of it. So I'm trying to see the positive in all of that, but it does suck that I can't drive. It hurts. It hurts that I can't leave the house. And I tried the car in. I tried real hard to drive it, and you need like a leg of steel for that clutch. From my memory, my car was not as hard. So my second car was manual. I had a Hyundai Accent GSI, and it was manual. The clutch was soft. I did have like the first week month was very hard, but after that it got easier. But there was power steering also. I can't remember what the year of the car was. I think it was like a 2003, 2004, around there. And then I had a Volkswagen Golf. That was like my favorite car. And that clutch was like super easy to drive. Now that I'm in like a 30 plus year car, it's not the same thing. It's quite hard. So I have to relearn how to drive manual with an old clutch. So definitely doing a lot of bike so that I can get those legs stronger so that I can drive a manual car. Until then, Fred is driving me around during the night, which is really fun. So I go to day camp in bike, drop off everyone, and then come back home. And then at night, because Cedric is by bike, and I don't necessarily, like, it's the first year he goes by bike. I don't trust him on my own. He is very, like goes around like that. And the cars, even if I'm in the village, they are crazy. They drive way too fast, and an accident could probably happen like really, really fast. So I follow him, and so I take my bike. I go to day camp, and Fred follows me with the car. So the kids can drop off their lunch bag, their bag, and everything that they have in the car. And me and the kids come back home with their bikes. The low. Oh shoot, that is cold, Jane. But probably you'll sleep way better than us. Riding a lawnmower has a clutch, so I guess I would. Ours is automatic, so I don't. The lawnmower is automatic. I don't have to do that. And when I had kids, we decided that we were going to get Tektronic, which is like, it's automatic, but you have the choice of like using, like you shift down and there's a plus and a minus. So you can go up and down, but you don't have to press the clutch. But it's ironic. I said like about a month ago, I was missing my Volkswagen Golf, and shouldn't have said that because motors to repair are very expensive. Everything is expensive, and car parts, it's probably the same. So it's a 2015. So the parts are still available. The mechanic said he was very, 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 very hopeful. Everything is fixable, not to worry. But like I said to him, like, I hope I won't have to sell a lung or a liver or a kidney to pay for this. This is like the first big car repair that I have to do. So it was kind of hard when Fred told me, like, yeah, there's something wrong with the motor. We're going to lose the car for a little while. So I'm like, oh, I cried. I lived that moment in, I tried something new. Normally old me would ongoing sleep, like think about the problem. So the car needs to be fixed. We need money to pay for it. I don't have a car. The car that I have here, I can't drive it. And go down the rabbit hole of all that negative. And I am trying real hard on a daily basis to find every single positive thing that is coming out of this. And there's days that it's very hard because I don't want to go down again. I'm trying to learn from the burnout I had last fall, and we're making it work. It is a lot of logistics, but at the moment it's been the first week and we're trying to make it work. A friend of ours, when we decide to go on the water with the paddle boards, is helping us out, brings a kid for us so that we can all go. But I'm trying the best that I can to make this opportunity, or whatever you want to call it, to try to find the positive. But I have to admit, I am really, really looking forward to having my car back. Because I am used to have a trunk. I am used to be able to, okay, I refuse to adult today. I'm going to go out and go grocery shopping, or there's deals going on at the secondhand store, or just like to grab a bite somewhere or meet up my parents somewhere. And losing my car for 4 weeks in the summer, 2 days after I've purchased a paddleboard, it is hard. Yeah. The thing is, I burnt myself out last year. So, I listened to myself way more. So there's things that I don't neglect. It's just I go with order of priority. So I make a list in my phone. I like normally Monday mornings is when I do this, and I walk the garden and like I have a note. And I go like this, and I take notes. Like I need like a example. I passed in the garden. The weed eater needs to get done. There's leftover plants that needs to be transplanted. I need to trellis tomatoes, remove suckers, and there's things that I bought that I need to. They're ready to be harvested for medicinal purposes. And like I write, okay, so you need to figure out why you grew that. And then harvest beets. I did that. Now I have to can beets. I have to do that Tuesday. So I do that. I have a list, an ongoing list, and I do that every Monday. And I just go around, and when I'm exhausted, I come in, I take water, I sit down, I read my book. I still like study a little bit during the summer. It's pretty hard. So there's things that I have to sacrifice a little bit during the summer, which is studying. I studied a lot over the colder months since October. I do a lot of holistic reading, educate myself, but now I can't. Like I maintain certain holistic practices like Reiki, but I can't go back into my notes and like really, really focus. So when the fall comes back, I'll be able like to take my books out and do like a refresh and learn more. Now I'm more garden oriented, but I try to listen more to my body. Like today, I wasn't able to be many hours outside. It was ridiculously warm. And I just decided to relax. Tomorrow, I might have to hassle a little bit my husband for trellising 2 rows of tomatoes, but that's tomorrow. I work at least in the garden a couple of hours every day. But then now that produce is coming out of the garden, it's going to be a little different. So I'm probably going to be a couple of hours, like 1 or 2 hours outside, tending, harvesting, and then canning. And it's always an adjustment. So we go kind of into phases. So first phase is like seedlings, taking care, like sowing seeds, organizing, ordering, making a plan for the season, and then you sow seeds, and then seedling phase, and then like the lights up pot, blah blah blah, and then like it's transplanting, and then there's like this down period, and then you start to manage the weeds, and then take care of your plants, trellis tomatoes, remove suckers. But then there's like this period at the end of the month of July where like there's everything coming out at the same time. Like end of July, first week of August, that's where like everything needs to get done all at the same time. Last year I tried something new, and I really enjoyed it. Instead of doing everything the first day, I would always do like I start something and finish it the next day. So last year I did a lot of relishes. And I would prepare everything the day before, cut everything, put everything in salt, and then the next day I would can it. And it would help me get more recipes done. So tomato sauce, I would do that. So I would spend a couple of days, at least 2 days of processing tomatoes and filling every single pot I have in the house, put it in the fridge. And then the day that I dedicated to canning, I would like boil it down and then can it that day. So it was really helpful. I'm going to try it again this year. Like salsa, I would chop everything, prepare everything in the recipe that I follow, which is super fun, is you put everything in a pot and then you boil it for a certain amount of time and then you can it. So by doing that, I was able to stretch out some of the work. I'm going to try it again this year, see if it's going to prevent me from like every year I burn out, but not to the extent of what I did last year. Last year I went pretty low. So I don't want to go there again. There's like also decisions I've made. I'm no longer blanching cauliflower, broccoli. Normally I would grow big amounts of broccoli, big amounts of cauliflower, blanch it, and put it in my freezers. I did find a organic cauliflower. I think it was a kilo. or 2 kilos at Costco. I'm going to buy that. And the ones that I have here will be for fresh eating. And if I can find broccoli, organic, frozen in big quantities, I'm going to do that. I buy frozen broccoli and cauliflower to do soups over the winter. And what I did tonight, so I boil them, steam them, and then put either milk or butter, and then put some cheese and put them in the oven. I could do that with fresh, or I could do it with frozen. The reasoning behind all of that is the time to blanch them and freeze them. There's a lot of work involved in blanching and freezing. So like in my freezers, I would have to put like trays for it not to stick together, and lack of freezer space. I would have like 4 or 5 bags of cauliflower, broccoli. It was a lot. I was taking a lot of freezer space. So that's one of the decisions I've made this year. I bought 12 broccoli seedlings at the nursery, 12 cauliflower, and those will be for fresh eating. I did try a fall garden. I think I also have 12 broccoli, 12 cauliflower, and I think about the same amount of cabbages. I think so. But I never usually have success with fall brassica family. So I'm giving it a try this year. We'll see what it does. But worst case scenario, I'm just gonna fresh eat whatever I have, even though they're small, and just do that frozen vegetables at Costco. I know there's a lot of like things that I can't control the way that they grow their food. But I've chosen to do that for my health. Like I'm alone. I'm alone doing this. So I tend to the garden 99% on my own. It is a lot to preserve 1 year worth of food. It's a lot of work. Not that I mind the work. It's just there's so many things I can do in 24 hours. And in there, I somewhat have to sleep 8 hours, do self-care, read, couple time, spend time with my kids, because we decided me not working when I gave birth to Cedric, my last one. And since we decided me to stay home, we were supposed to spend much more time as a family. But it turns out the only thing I was doing was like working. And realizing that over the colder months that I would spend so much time working. It was not always work, but like working being like taking care of the kids, and then school, and then homestead, and then housework, and then housework again when the kids come back, and then the schooling, and then like, so there was not any moments of like bonding with each other. And now that we're doing it, there's like, we realize that we missed out. There's nothing we can do. We can't go back in time. So now we're trying to bond even more. That's why we bought a paddleboard. My kids love it. We went fishing yesterday with Cedric. It was, oh wait, I hope it works. Cedric fished his first fish yesterday. Where is it? He's so cute. He was so proud. Where is he? There he is. Let me zoom that in for you. There you go. Let's try to... Can you see that little fish? It was his first fish. He was so excited. So Philip has a fishing rod from last year. My dad bought him a fishing rod, and then we went to Canadian Tire, which is like big Walmart, and we found like a small rod about this long. It was like really, really, it's not that expensive. And he's been asking to go fishing all day today. He was so sad. I want to go fishing, mommy. I want to go fishing. And we didn't go because like we had so many things to do at the house today. But I'm happy that we found some activities to do together. The paddleboard, Philip really enjoys it. He enjoys fishing. So as a family now, we have like fun stuff to do instead of just like work, 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 work. Fox, this better than no fish for sure. There's a mistake in there. What were you trying to say? Yeah. So here's the thing. I don't do that because I would have to buy ridiculous amounts of bags to freeze it. And then those bags goes into the garbage. So it bugs me a lot. So, and it's an investment every year. Some of them are able to be reused. I wash them, dry them, and I write tomatoes on them. So every year, like I reuse them. But I rather process process the juice, like boil it and then put it in the fridge and then like do like a couple of days of that. But if I could find good sturdy bags that are usable and recyclable, because the Ziplocs, I don't think they're recyclable. Hello, Dave. But I've seen so many people freeze and then thaw them and in the colder months do their tomato sauce. I missed an E, but this is correct. You like this season? This better than no fish for sure. Oh, you mean going fishing and not getting anything? So Dave, just an FYI, I probably will do Sunday Live later. It like at 7:30, everyone is still outside, everyone's enjoying, and yes, it is the next day, work day, but sun goes down like around 8:30, and like we're trying to enjoy much more of the summer. So I'm gonna do like 8:30, 8:45 and stay for max an hour. I had pictures laying around of myself. I showed them on Tuesday. Oh, the silicones that I have all broke. I was so mad. These like the little zip no longer works. Where are the pictures? I had pictures. Where did they go? Oh, there they are. So this is me. I think I'm about the same age as Cedric. So my kids are discovering some of my favorite activities as a child. So I had a boat when I was young. My dad bought a boat and now they're discovering some of the moments I had on the water. So when I harvest tomatoes, I have between 20 and 50 pounds every single time in like peak season. Yeah, I think so. The thing is, I can't stay like past 10. Like, I fall asleep. And the next day, I'm like all sluggish. So I'm going to go from like 8:30, 8:45 and stay like max till 10. I know it's going to be shorter lives. My watch time is like super, super down, but like I have to be realistic also with my family. So I come here to chat with you guys. I love sharing. I love chatting, but there's a part of me that wants to fix. Well, not fix. It's not the right word, but I'm sure you guys understand. So I'm going to say fix because for lack of better word, the fact that I've like worked over the last 7 years and brought myself to exhaustion. I want to fix the bonds that were either broken or needs tending. So it's finding the good amount of time that I want to invest on YouTube and the amount of time I want to spend with my family. And right now my kids like really, really enjoy every single thing this summer. We kind of found somewhat a routine that they enjoy, except Emilia. Emilia is like her last year at camp, and there's days that she hates it. There's days that she loves it, and there's days that she's like, she's not too much in love. She's asked me a couple of times to stay home with me. Not having a car is kind of hard. I would keep her home, but there's like, I can't go anywhere. Yes, we could go biking, but like biking is not something she really enjoys. She's more like drawing type of person, reading. She loves to be on the water, obviously, but it's like trying to find like the balance. And this is like what works for now. In the winter, I have much more time. There's less things to do. Unless we discover a new activity that we enjoy to do on the snow. We never know. We could exchange the paddle boards for something else. Maybe, what do you call those? Snowshoes? Is that how you call it? Like the metallic thing you put on your boots? In French, it's called raquette, but I think in English, it's snowshoes. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it snowshoes? Yes, awesome. I don't particularly enjoy the cold. It's not my favorite season. I do enjoy the rest period, reading, cocooning, and like baking. I love baking breads during the winter. There's a lot of cookies, like sugar cookies and like chocolate chips. And there's another one that we enjoy doing, walnut and something else. But yeah, so it's hard. So as a content creator, you have to find that sweet spot. And when you have a young family, it's important to spend time with your kids, but it's also important to work on your channel or whatever content platform you choose. But like it's finding that sweet spot. And I think I somewhat found it. Remy helped me out a lot with the 30 post challenge. I'm still on track. I'm still doing it every single day. There's something out coming for you. Yeah, this week is like almost all scheduled. That's coming in. So that is also helping me. But that sweet spot, like it was like super hard to find, and I'm like narrowing it down. The only thing I am missing is like filming. And this is like my biggest struggle is like having a schedule to, okay, so Monday and Tuesday is when I film. And then Wednesday is when I edit. And then Thursday morning is when I publish. So Thursday now I have early content membership. So there is the 99 cents membership that I have, but I also have one over that gives you early access, and it's for Thursday. So Thursday, that's the early content coming out, and then the regular is on Friday. But like, I'm struggling on Mondays. Monday is hard for me, even though I'm a stay-at-home mom. Monday is like back to reality. Kids are back to do whatever they're supposed to do, and the husband is back to work. And it's like the Monday is, there's weeks that it's easier, and there's weeks that I'm like, oh, it's either like way too warm, way too rainy, and it's easy to procrastinate and go, okay, I'll just do it tomorrow. And then Tuesday comes in, like that list of stuff that needs to get done. Like, it's so important. So that's like my last thing that I'm struggling with, getting myself organized with a filming schedule, because like I have two channels, one in English, one in French. And I also created one for like more holistic. And I can't at the moment. I can't maintain two. It's really hard. So, hi. Hope you're well. I'm actually leaving like in a couple of minutes, but I'm happy you popped in. I will be changing my live schedule. I'm going to go later, so around 8:45-ish on Sundays, for at least for the summer, unless I have to water the garden. Sundays is usually the night that I'm allowed to water the garden with my city regulations. So how's your excursions are going? Did you go fishing, or is it fishing is done? I haven't seen a fishing post of you guys in a while. Filming is all over the place for us. Yes, you're right. Definitely. Oh, okay. I missed a couple of comments. Ooh, okay. I think so important. Okay. Anyone interested in sharing a 150 batch of raspberries? Plants, you mean? Like canes? It's my biggest struggle. That like I always say, like the good and bad and ugly. It's my biggest struggle. And I just don't want like to film in like not mean it. Like I want this to be really me, our life, my struggle, my success. So yeah, it would kind of be far for you to come. You would have to fly in probably. Although Remy is driving, I think 12 or 14 hours to join us. Oh, that sucks. We were supposed to have thunderstorm on Saturday. So I brought out my paddleboard. I took out my pump, and I don't know what happened. My manual pump, the gauge, like broke. So I took out, like, it was just me and the boys. Emilia was at a friend's, and I can't, like, if the gauge doesn't work on the manual pump, I can't use it. So I was so pissed, but the boys went fishing next to the river, and I got out Saturday night with a neighbor, and I was able to use her pump. And we got caught by like the tipping point of a storm. But since where we were, it was 10 minutes, it like dropped on us. We were soaked, but we just hid in our cars and we just inflated the paddle boards, and the boys were fishing under a tree in the rain. It was really cute. But then the storm like passed over us and like left super fast, and we were able to go on the water. It was really fun. Hopefully get out camping and fishing this weekend coming. I have to get my bathtub in the water first. Bathtub. How? Wait a minute. I saw a bathtub. What is it again? The conference is in Ontario. Denby? I think it's I think this. No, could it be like that? No, it's not that. Jane, do you remember where the conference was? Have to get my bathtub in the water first this week and get the farm stand. Ooh, farm stand, cool. I remember there was a motor. So it was a bathtub and you had a motor and there was like a bucket and you were testing it. I think I saw it just north. Okay, so here. Holy cow. Okay, so definitely you would have to fly in. Definitely. So for my part, I think it's 3.5 hours. I think Tracy also is about 3 hours, 3-ish hours. Darren is 7 hours, I think. Marilyn is like 10 hours. And Patrick is 7 hours, 7, 8 hours. No, 5. I think it's 7. And it's 12 or 16 hours. It's a long ride for Remy. Angie was like right next door. I think she was like under an hour away from the conference. Okay, so Denby. But it's definitely worth it. Like, I'm hoping my car trouble is out of the way next year and I'm able to drive. Like, brakes, little parts on the wheels, that does not stress me out at all. But I think since it's a 2015, I think I'm going to have to do like a full garage inspection before I go to next year's conference. Got out a video today of the greenhouse and farm stand. I did oak floor, finished inside with Nice. I wish I could have my husband with me doing this full time. I don't think he would be in the videos, but just the lifestyle, I would love it. It would make things like way easier. Like, I would have so much more content available. And instead of being like how to or canning videos, or like, it would be like a vlog, like our journal of our lifestyle. So if today we decide to do like renovations, that would be that. If the next day I'm in the garden, I feel like doing a garden tour, I'll do that. Or if a day I have like a special meditation that I was working on, I can have like a dedicated holistic meditation, like chat, do it live in the garden if I want. But because he can only give me so much hours during the week, there's so many projects I can't do. And there's only 24 hours in a day. So at the moment, it's what I can provide. Maps tell me 30 hours. That's funny, since I just do a wild guess on drive time. Okay, so you're 2 hours away. Okay, give or take. I'm gone off the homestead doing 2 jobs, 2, 3. Okay, I'm gone off the homestead doing 3 jobs, 2, 3 days a week, but the rest of the time I'm here milling, stacking lumber, and that's nice. I think the best of both worlds would be Fred working 2, 3 days a week, have one dedicated family day, no exceptions, and then have like 2 days of like working projects and like have a flexible day. That would be like the best of every world. But at the moment, we can't. The only way that I could do that is if we would fix the house, sell everything, and start somewhere new and start where the selling point of this house minus our debts, maybe get a second car and buy a house that like the roof does not need to get changed. The foundation is perfect. There's no repairs to do on the foundation. The windows do not need to get changed within the next 5 years. And the condition of the house is passes the inspection. There's like no major work to get done. I don't mind living a vintage house where we can have like a party of a weekend of like removing paint and like painting, having people over and painting a kitchen cabinet and like upgrading slightly. But it would give us like a selling point of the house, debt free, buy a second car, because Fred would lose his privileges of having a company truck. And then he would be able to find a job where we move 2-3 days a week. And that would provide like food wise, repairs on the cars, renovations in our lifestyle. We pretty much live a very simple lifestyle. We don't travel that much. I think if we were debt free, we would travel a little bit more. We would love to be camping a couple of weekends during the summer. We never usually camp in July. We normally camp early June to end of June. And then we camp August till September. We do not enjoy boiling when camping. So we would go when there's less people, less expensive, and the heat at night is bearable. So I think that would be like the only splurge we would do, like automate our chicken thing and be able to leave the house for like at least 2 nights. That would like be like different lifestyle that we'd have. But him working 2-3 days a week would be definitely a blessing. Yeah, definitely. I'm driving a 2012 Camry and just changed the transmission fluid, though was a sign. I drove to Toronto every 2 weeks. Just where did it come and go? Just did a trip to Buffalo a week ago. Ooh, you left to drive. I used to drive a lot. When I was working, I used to drive like really a lot. And then I would travel to my sister in Gaspésie at least once or twice a year. And then we would go to Toronto at least once or twice a year. And we would travel a lot to, we have a couple of friends that live on the South Shore. So we would travel a lot there. But like since I stopped working, there's like the traveling is like to the minimum. That is perfect. This like you're young, so I'm not sure if you're gonna get this, but like for a couple, what you're doing will help you through like tremendously down the road. Like you're building a very strong foundation for the years to come. Alyssa has 2 part-time jobs and and doing school too at the same time. Most of the time we are here though, but for example, just cut the grass here takes 7 hours. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, that's one of the things that scare me. If we move to like 1 or 2 acres, um, I would have to like plant a food forest because like 7 hours to mow the grass. So like you just finished So let's just say like you divide it to like 2 hours one night, 2 hours the other night, and then you finish like the long haul over the weekend. By the time you're finished the third time, you kind of have to restart where you started the first night. So yeah. Uh, Maybe invest in sheep. Well, you do like to go out of the homestead often. So there is like, I saw this, I can't remember who did this. I think it's Justin Rhodes. Oh, no, it was not Justin Rhodes. Or was it? Anyways, it was on one of those channels. It's like a fenced area that's on wheels, and they would move their sheep every day. And he would mow their grass. That, and have to help my grandparents get their firewood, help them around with. That is so sweet. That is really nice gesture. Since the car problem, we're speaking much more about our future. It is very scaring to leave something that you're comfortable with. So, like selling our house. We've never sold a house. Um, this is my first home that I own, and like selling it. Not everyone. Well, actually, there's much more people that are homesteading oriented, or self sufficiency, looking to walk in the path of self sufficiency. So I probably would be, if I clean it up like super, super, super clean, and like invest maybe in a couple of loads of wood chips and like flower perennial, and invest the next 2-3 years of our time to make it like really, really pretty, we probably would be able to sell it. But Fred is older than me. So he is nearer than his good night, Jane. I'm actually leaving like in a couple of minutes. He is closer to his retirement than I am. So if we sell the house and he's 10 years away from retirement, I don't think he would want to restart and create what we have here. By hand, at least. So I've done every single like garden beds. We've done everything by hand. We've hauled everything by hand. The bucket of compost was by hand. Wheelbarrows, shovels. The only thing we've done machinery wise was break ground. So we broke the ground year one. So in April or May of 2018. So we rented a machine to remove the grass, and then we rented a tiller. We tilled, I think, 4 times because it was clay, and then everything else was by hand. No tractor was involved. So if I was to restart, I don't think I would do everything by hand. I don't think I would have it in me to. Not that I don't mind shoveling compost in and then bring it. It's just it would what took us 5 years to establish. I think it would maybe take less time because we've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. Space between garden beds is like a must. Like I've done 3. There's places now it's like 18 inches between my raised beds. Some is 24 inches and one is 36 inches. And I'm really happy that I'm changing my pathways at least to 36 inches because it leaves the plants to bush out a little bit. So definitely if I would restart, instead of establishing in 5 years, I probably would establish like in 3-4 years. But I would have Fred working part-time and he would be able to help me plant stuff. So maybe 3 years. But my eldest will be in high school. My middle will probably also be in high school in 3 years. So like peak of puberty. I don't know if I want to go down that road. So it's like we don't know. So I think our main goal right now is to focus on making this house, like, you see all these holes in my ceiling, and fixing our century old home like cute, and see in 3 years where life will bring us, if we want to sell it or not. So driving the car that was lent to us also made him realize that he wants a garage, and he wants to learn how to mechanic, like buy old cars and fix them and learn. And he already has a model in mind. I can't remember the year. He said a Volkswagen Fox. I think it's what it's called, Fox. And he says like he would like work on it on his spare time, and that would be like his retirement plan. And but he wants a big ass garage. So I'm like, we don't have a garage here. That could be complicated. Like we would need like to have a garage almost the size of our house for you to have like all of your tools. So it is making like we are both realizing that this happened for a reason. We just need to sit down and have that talk and a plan. Let me go back to my comments. It sucks. I usually go hard at it it sucks. I usually go hard at it one day. Oh my God. It's mostly the wood. Okay. Yeah, that's like a good day of work. And yeah, our chickens do our yard around the cabin. I started my first company when I was 18. One thing I have learned, any big good step in the future is not going to be comfortable. Absolutely. So there is a saying, if it makes you scared or uncomfortable, it's worth exploring, or something like that. I would do it, but we've made friends, like in the nearby village. And starting over would mean maybe losing that, but maybe finding something better or similar or totally different. Or unless we decide to have like a cabin, like buy land with a small cabin, and it would be like our getaway house near Quebec City, like something doable in like a weekend, like drive in on a Thursday night and like spend the weekend and then come back, like an off-grid situation, and then buy a farm that's not too big, because I don't think I would be able to manage like 100 acres on my own, and like nearby, so that our kids can maintain the same friends, school. Hi, CR. But definitely, if you're too comfortable, it's easier to be comfortable than doing the risky stuff. Need to get yourself a little garden tractor with some attachments. Yeah. My son Philip, that's 10 years old, he wants a side-by-side. He wants a tractor. And his dream job, he's 10 years old. He told me this, and I told him I will support you. He wants to mow the lawn for a living. So I think it's called landscaping in English. So cut grass, and he says, Mom, you'll be able to teach me about flowers. I'm like, I have no idea about landscaping, but I'm sure that you can figure it out as you go along. And he's like, Mom, I want a tractor. I want a mini John Deere lawnmower, or those big ones that you sit down, and I want to start a company. So I'm like, that's a good plan. I use my little cub for everything. Big tractors are handy, but not much. Okay. So Fred wants a farm tractor. But I'm like, if you want a farm tractor, we need a farm. Like, we can't invest like thousands of dollars on a fix, like So there's many ways of look at it. So if you buy an older model, fixer upper, it's going to be a challenge for him, but he's going to be able to bring in his garage and fix it and play with him, blah, blah, blah. Or if we get the middle, like not too expensive, but like not too beat up, are we going to use it? Hauling compost is like super, super, super helpful. Like you build raised beds, you bring your supplies with your like raised beds. I think I would only go raised beds if I would move in. My in-ground garden would be like for squashes, pumpkins, melons, corn, and stuff that could be in the ground. But the rest, I think I would do raised beds. So like hauling material around with a medium-sized tractor would be life-changing. Or a trailer, pickup truck with a trailer and a tractor with a bucket. Fred would be like a kid having so much fun, but definitely. One reason I can do everything so fast is I already have all the equipment. Yeah, it does help. Hi, CR. But one thing I have to stop comparing to establish homestead. Yeah. I think instead of comparing, we should look for inspiration. So I did that mistake so many times, and I probably still do it. So looking at where someone is compared to me, I try to use it as inspiration and motivation. And I ask question, what works for you? What doesn't work for you? Why it works for you? Why does it not work for you? And I try to learn from that comparison. And I try to compare healthy wise. So what does this person have that I would love to have that would make my life easier? Okay, yeah, okay, that would make my life easier, but can I afford it? And is it something logical for me? And then use it for inspiration. But comparing is like one of our worst enemy. Shop here is the size of the big house. A man cave. I am the end game. You are doing it right. I bought my place at 26. Definitely. I told them this very often. He's doing it right. He's young. He's learning. He doesn't have kids. Well, from what I remember, you don't have kids. His wife is on board. They fish. I think you hunt. So definitely. Like, he's living it. Yes, Lon. Hey, I had a soft scape company, Ground Zero property maintenance. That was my first company. Good money, real competitive. I have restored 6 tractors now. It's a lot of fun. I like my international harvester stuff. I am back up to 8 tractors now. I sneak them Shh. I don't think Alyssa will watch this on replay, so you should be fine. You should be fine. But definitely a man cave. I wanted to dedicate one part of our house, like a 6x6 or 8x8 for a meditation room, but I can't. I'm like, we're redesigning the first floor, and everything is made small in a century-old home. So the only thing I can do for a meditation room would be to find a solarium and just add it to the side of the house, and or on the deck, convert one of the windows into a door and have like an outdoor meditation area, or build on a deck, like have say a foundation for a deck that can support a solarium, and I would be able to have a meditation room. But I think that would be like one of the things that if I would move, Fred would have a man cave. where all his freaking tools can be. And like if I would find them around the house all over the place, I would have like a big bucket where I could just dump all his tools. Like there's tools of his everywhere. I found some in the bathroom, in our room. There's screwdrivers all over the place because my kids love to play with his tools. There's like stuff everywhere. So if we'd have like a man cave or like a garage, I would be able to put everything there. And I would ask for him to either build me a 10 by 10 solarium for my seedlings and a meditation room and maybe a massage room. Who knows? No kids, wedding first. Awesome. Way to do it. No kids, learning the ropes. You're young. It's just perfect. I did it by hand. I like a tractor with a 4x4 and a loader. I have only expanded after retirement. Okay. What I really want, okay, so this is complete Chinese for me. What I really want is a 1980 B8000. I know Kubota. I know the brand. With a loader, be able to run a little forestry, and haul it with a half-ton truck. Like a flatbed? Oh, guys, I just saw the time. I said I was only going to stay an hour. No, that's probably why I'm feeling so tired. So, Tuesday, I will do a short live. So all of my lives will be later. So Sunday night will be later. Tuesday morning will also be later. So usually it will be around 9-10 in the morning on Tuesday. And Sunday will be closer to 9. Alyssa and my grandma always get mad at me for nuts and bolts and files and whatnot in my pockets when yeah. So Fred does electricity, part of electrical work. And you know those things that you take 2 wires and you tie them together? I know in French it's called marette. What is it called? Does anyone know what that is called? It's blue. Well, the ones he buys, they're blue. And there's washers that he uses also when he installs. And there's like these weird screws also that he uses. And when I no longer do his laundry because of that. So I always forget to empty the pockets. And then I would hear in my dryer, it's like there's like a party going on in the dryer. So I find washers, I find those little blue things for wires, and sometimes I find screws. Yeah. It's a nightmare. Yeah, big trail. Okay, cool. So what do you call those little blue things that you attach 2 wires with it? I'm curious. In French, it's a marette. And then I'll let you guys go after that. Let's see if I can find out what that little thing is. Oh, maybe Google will be able to translate it for me. So, Mr. Google Pants. So, marette. Insert English word here. Marette électrique. Okay. So, this is called. No, that's not it. Okay. Hold on. In English. That's not it. Twist on wire connector? Does that make sense? I think it's called twist on connectors. You're funny. I don't know where you come up with these expression. Like every time, like time, you would write THYME. It just it blows my mind, and it makes me laugh every single time. Once you have a tractor, you'll never go back. That should be made in a T-shirt. And I think it's a similar word in English, but I can't spell it. Well, in French, this is how it's written. Marette. But in English, they write it the same. So this is what I find in my dryer. Like these things. And like not a couple, like gazillions of them. And he laughs. It's like, ooh, the dryer is making weird noise. I'm like, yeah, you didn't empty your pockets and I forgot. Yeah, conic shape. So it's just to put two electrical wires together. Well, guys, I have to go twist on wire caps. Okay, I was right. I have to go. It's past my bedtime, so I will chat with you guys on Tuesday morning. Everyone take care. Have a wonderful week. Who's Cliff? Wait, did I miss someone? Is who? CR, who's Cliff again? Oh, sorry. I always call you Mr. Fox. So your first name is Cliff? Is that it? Okay. I'm going to try to remember this. Okay, because like CR, I still don't know his first name because everyone calls him CR. Worst thing is lighter. Not good. Not good. I can understand why they're angry. Absolutely. Okay, since I'm going to try to remember. What is your first name, CR? And then I'll go. Nobody knows CR's first name. Ooh, no worries. No problem. I will continue to call you CR. So everyone have a fantastic week. We'll chat on Tuesday morning. Bye.